Good evening, everybody. It's just 5 o'clock, so we'll make a start. Welcome and thank you for joining Trafalgar's April client webinar. The title we've chosen for this evening is What Your Managing Agent Really Does. Just while I make a few introductory remarks, we've got a short poll, which I'll ask my colleague Talisha to launch for us, just asking for what do you think are the more important activities a managing agent undertakes, to rank those and select those. So if you're interested, please just have a go at the poll, and we'll have a look at the responses thereafter. Just in terms of tonight, we'll end promptly by 6. We have internal speakers this evening, so to introduce those, we have, as usual, our esteemed National Property Management Manager, that's Karine Kutsia, based in Cape Town, who puts these webinars together. So thanks very much. Welcome, Karine. We have Sammy Harris, our National Sales Manager, who will be speaking on this topic as well. And then we have a second section which will follow. Talisha Oosthuizen, my colleague, who's previously been a senior portfolio manager, now working on strategic projects, is going to do a demonstration of what I think are very exciting and very powerful AI tools, which are now available to assist Trafalgar clients, both from a training perspective, as well as access to financial management, administration, and other scheme records, which are available on the web app. So Talisha will do a demonstration and will show how to use these tools, give you a flavor for what's available, and hopefully you'll find them useful to improve self-service capabilities. It is an important topic, I think, tonight in terms of, and sorry, Peter, I forgot to introduce you. So Peter's our Director of Legal and Marketing, and Peter joins us based up in Gauteng. This evening, we chose the topic because, we often asked, what are the roles and responsibilities of a managing agent? Where do the boundaries lie? And, it's a difficult space in terms of trustees that are elected on an annual basis. There's a fair amount of change in the trustee and director decision making that we work with, and there are boundaries to the decisions that both trustees and directors can take, as well as the managing agent, and it's quite important to clarify those boundaries and the scope so that the collaboration and the decision making and the interaction can be efficient and effective. So to start us off tonight, I'm going to ask Karine to commence. If you have any questions, please do pose those in the Q&A. Myself, Peter, and Sammy, when we're not talking, we'll try and respond. Right at the end, as usual, there will be names and contact details with email addresses. You're very welcome to reach out to any of us afterwards if we don't get to your questions, or at any time. We're very happy to answer and respond as best we can. So contact details will be there. We will endeavor to respond to all questions now or afterwards. As usual, Karine will make sure that a YouTube link for the recording of today's session is circulated to everyone who registered. That will give you access to any of the discussions. We do load these recording links on Trafalgar's training site, training.trafalgar.coza. All of our extensive free training and prior webinar recordings are loaded there. They're absolutely freely available online. There's also the chatbot tests, which Talisha will demonstrate, which gives you access to all of that training material, all of the legislation in our industry. You can ask any questions you have in your own language at any time, and you will get, intelligent responses to those, plus a link to refer to Karine if you require any further clarification. So with that introduction in mind, Karine, let me hand over to you to start us off. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. I just stopped sharing the slides. I will share that again now. I just wanted to see the poll as well. So we didn't have a lot of responses on the poll, but thanks for those who did respond. But basically what you can see once you've submitted your responses is that the two items that most people selected in terms of core responsibilities is preparing monthly financial statements and collecting levies and managing arrears. So what we are here today to showcase is that is definitely not even all that we do. There's so much more to it. And I'm going to take you through that. So first of all, I'm going to focus on what do we do. And I just made a summary of our management agreement because that is what determines our functions and our services. And if we look at our management agreement, it is broken down, and this is standard for most managing agents, if not all of them. It is basically broken down into three main categories. The first being financial management, which is a big portion of what we do. Administrative management, which is also big, and facilities management, which is also big. So some people focus more on financial, some people focus more on administrative, some people focus more on facilities, but it is basically a variety of those three categories of the things that we actually do as managing agents. So that you can see, I'm not going to go through it word for word, but that's basically just a short summary of the financial management portion of it, of the things we do. Yes, we prepare monthly financial reports for you. Yes, we collect levies and manage the levy billing, but there's other things as well. The accounting records, the budgets, the audit, managing the trust funds, and just basically reporting is a big thing. So that's just a list. I'm not going to go into all the details. We will send the slides tomorrow to everybody, so you don't have to ask for the slides. It will be sent to you. If we look at administrative management, obviously a big thing is meetings. So we assist with AGMs, SGMs, trustee meetings, preparation, the setting up, the agendas, the notices. We assist with the proper guidance on the governance issues, quorums, voting, proxies, minutes, things like that, the procedure to be followed. Then also correspondence and compliance is also a big part of what we do. We advise the trustees, we assist the trustees, and correspondence also obviously includes things like rule contraventions where we need to correspond with owners. Then the last category that I wanted to just touch on was facilities management. This includes the maintenance, the insurance, all of that. So that is also a big part of what we do. We assist the trustees in obtaining quotes, help coordinate contractors, and so forth. Then if we look at what don't we do, and there's going to be a big but at the end. We don't do this, but that I'm going to take you through. So basically, we cannot make decisions on behalf of a scheme. We are just the managing agent. We don't have that authority within the Sectional Title Schemes Management Act, but we are there to advise the trustees in their decision making. We are there to advise the owners if they have to pass ordinary resolutions, special resolutions, unanimous resolutions. We are definitely in that place. We do not replace the trustees unless, of course, we are appointed as the executive managing agent. And when we are appointed as the executive managing agent, yes, then we can take the decisions that the trustees would normally have taken. But if we're just the managing agent straightforward, we cannot make the final decisions. We are not the decision-making authority. We have to refer back to the trustees and the owners. Then the maintenance responsibilities, you can see there a couple of things that we cannot do unless obviously we're contracted to do so, which would be falling outside the scope of our normal management agreement. And then also in terms of staff management, you'll see that there are certain things that we can assist with when we are contracted to do so. Financial risk, we cannot guarantee levy collections. We cannot fund shortfalls. We cannot pay your expenses if you don't have funds. But we can assist the trustees in planning ahead, in proper budgeting, in proper levy collections, in trying to get, if we need to raise a special levy for unforeseen expenses, things like that, we can assist with. Legal and dispute roles, we are not normally acting as the legal representative, but we do have a facility which we call the community catalyst, where you can get a legal opinion, we can act as your legal representative. We call it in-house, we call it ComCat, just an abbreviation for community catalyst, but that is basically what we can do. And then obviously if there's after our meeting or additional meetings, sometimes there is a cost to it, but we are more than willing to do that. So just touching on communication expectations, all informal channels like WhatsApp are not official communication, so we prefer you to use our system with our action tickets, or use email for official communication. And then there's just a couple of liability limitations then at the end there. So that is basically my portion of it. I'm going to hand over to Sammy, who is going to take you through a couple of slides and some reflections and key learnings on when we take over a scheme from another managing agent, what do we see? What do we pick up? Sammy, over to you.
Thank you, Karine. I do appreciate this. Good evening, everybody. Karine, you can go to the next slide for me. So when we talk about new take-ons, it's very important that you all know that Trafalgar specifically has a take-on function that we provide through to our schemes. And we all need to understand what is a take-on process. The process is of transitioning from a scheme from a managing agent to our managing agent, moving them over through to Trafalgar and making sure that everything is in order. And we basically create stability for the building as well. We then also create a needs analysis. We create the fact that we will meet with the trustees and the owners on a site visit to make sure that we identify the building and making sure that we understand what are we going to manage going forward. What we also do is provide you with a full structured team to make sure that it is a full team managing you and not only one person. Within this industry, it is impossible for one person to do everything at once. So we do have the different departments that we actually use to facilitate the PM to make sure that we can all, do what we need to do and keep that structure going ahead as well. What we also provide to you is inspections. So on your first day of takeover, we will definitely on the first month have an inspection on the site visits as well, making sure that your common property is inspected. We understand what the circumstances is and your status of your maintenance. And then you can also put that together with your 10-year maintenance plans if it is a body corporate as well. And then I think the most important thing that we need to remember is communication. So the take-on teams are there to communicate with the previous managing agent, communicate with the team, and making sure that we provide all the information through to the team so that they understand where are we at, how does the financials look, is there something at risk, and we need to communicate that through to the clients as well. Thank you, Karine. Keys to successful take-ons. So what we are looking at when we do a new take-on is we have strong planning, and this results from having a financial review done before we take over a complex. When we get an inquiry, we ask you for your financial statements. We then make sure that we provide you with a planning on the status of your building. Clear communication, the most important thing. I think most of the managing agents that we work with sometimes is the fact that they are not communicating as well as that they should with the trustees and the owners. So very important is that we concentrate on that service delivery for you as well. Attention to detail. So obviously we've got the take-on teams. They have to now work through all the documentations, make sure that everything is in order. And if there's something that is not done, we need them to provide the detail through to the PM so that we can speak to the trustees to finish up that attention to detail as well. And this is very important. If we do not understand what we are going to manage, we cannot manage you from the get-go. All right. Team correspondence, site visits, and also, and I think the most important thing that we need to remember is when we start a take-on process, is we start a relationship with that new trustees as well. We want to build a relationship with you. We want to make sure that you understand that you actually mean something within the company. You're not just a number. We need to make sure that the relationship is built, and we need to make sure that the team actually continues with that relationship building as well. It's very important for us to create this structure within the take-on team to make sure that it is a successful take-on, and also making sure that everybody is on the same page as well. Thanks, Karine. So the top 6 reasons why a building will leave a managing agent. Number 1 is communication. When I go to a sales meeting, at most of the times, the first thing that we speak about is the fact that they don't get communication. And when I talk about communication, it's not just a call, it's not just an email, it's not just you have a managing agent and we've got the board outside. Communication relating to, are we giving correct feedback? Are we giving the financial statements correctly through? Do you speak to your portfolio manager on a weekly basis? Does your portfolio manager even speak to the owners as well? At the end of the day, it's very, very important for us to communicate that we will communicate everything through to all the trustees and all the owners as well. The lack of financial transparency. I think most of the buildings I also see is that they have no clue what's happening on their financials. And what's exciting about Trafalgar is we can provide this to you on our dashboard with our new system. Very exciting. It showcases everything that you need. It showcases the bank accounts, what did we pay, everything is in order. And therefore, it's much easier for us as the managing agent and also the trustees to manage this together. Service delivery issues. I mean, when it comes to service delivery, we speak about this every day internally as well. If we can't give a service, then you don't have to have a managing agent at the end of the day. We don't only sell a product, we sell a service delivery, and this is where we need to be and make sure that you guys are getting this service delivery as well. We also have on service delivery, making sure that the 24-hour turnaround is very important for these clients of ours coming in and also the existing clients as well. Compliance risk, it's very important. When you do appoint a managing agent, we as a managing agent has to be compliant, but also you as the trustees, the building, we have to make sure that you are compliant as well. High fees, no value. If you pay a high fee for managing agents, you're not getting communication, you're not getting financials, you're not getting the service deliveries that you are asking for. At the end of the day, you get no value. And this is so important that you understand your fees when it comes to your managing agents as well. And then also the break of trust. If we can't build a relationship, you don't have trust in us, and then we cannot manage you going forward. And this is exactly why we want to build that trust relationship with the trustees and with the owners and everybody involved relating to that as well. Karin? So what are you guys looking for in a managing agent? We are looking for professional service. You're looking for transparency, fast response time. Again, I'm referring back to the 24-hour turnaround time. And when I say this, it's not just receiving an email and giving you an answer noted back. That is not how we operate. At the end of the day, you would like to have full feedback relating to your query. Strong financial control. We've got appointed accountants that will be able to assist you on the accounting side, together with your portfolio manager, to make sure that we are planning ahead and making sure that we are doing this for you correctly at the end of the day. And most important, advise you on your financial statements and your financial situations going forward as well. Proactive management, going the extra mile. We believe in that. I mean, some people work only according to what the agreement says, but within this industry, I strongly believe that proactive management equals going the extra mile for our clients. So if I need to go to the complex twice a week, I have to do that. Then I will do that for my client, because at the end of the day, you are relying on us to provide you with the best service available. And also very important, you need a plan going forward. Again, I'm referring back to the financial reviewing that we do before we even quote. This is to give us the correct information of your status, making sure that we as a team sit together and we work out a plan for you going forward. Whether you have your 10-year plan in place or not, whether your financials is not up to scratch, whether your AGM is behind, these are the types of plans that we look for when we take over and make sure that you guys are, properly, we've got a proper plan and you are properly also managed at the end of the day as well. Thanks, Karim. On conclusion about the take-ons and why this is so important, understanding why the clients leave other agencies help us deliver a better take-on and build a long-term relationship with you. Please do remember that. If you are not yet with Trafalgar, give me a call. I'll do the stats for you and I'll give you a proposal as well. Thank you, everybody.
Great. Thanks very much, Sammy. So That was part one. So just to wrap it up, I think, like Karine said, the management agreement really does spell out the service scope that is involved, that is required. That is what we are, focused on achieving. But very much we are hoping to partner with directors and trustees to make the community scheme that you are responsible for or living in or owning in as legally compliant as required. So making sure that all the registrations are in place, that effective budgeting is done in advance, so levy income can cover expenses, that allows service delivery to continue uninterrupted, maintenance to meet expectations. And ultimately that has, a very big impact and bearing on quality of life, in the community scheme, the values of your significant assets, resale values, and it makes a difference in terms of, estate agency sales, the banks for bonds, and ultimately long-term growth in your investments. So that was just a quick snapshot, but again, any questions, please do come back to us. Now, moving to the next section, which Talisha is going to take us through, we're going to have a look at very powerful AI tools, which are currently in place. They are available. They are online. Talisha is going to give us a live demonstration. And all of these are really strongly encouraged for you to try to use. We strongly believe this will accelerate self-service. It gives you access to all of that transparency and financial information and other admin records, which are important. They are required from time to time, and it's there now online at your fingertips whenever you want, in multilingual, language access as well. And we're very excited about this, and we're spending a lot of time and effort and energy and budget on, steadily improving these tools so that we can make them even more powerful, even more comprehensive. And certainly it's all about improving service delivery, both externally and internally between our departments, and improving productivity to make that sustainable as well. So with that introduction, Talisha, I'll hand over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, and good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for taking the time to join us today. So I think in terms of scheme management, knowledge is so powerful, and we are therefore so excited to introduce these tools to you today, and we really hope it will enhance your client experience. I'm going to do a live demonstration at the end of the session. So if you can think of an interesting question, you can please post it in the chat section, and we'll see what our AI tools come up with. So at Trafalgar, we constantly look for ways to improve how we support our clients. I think not just in terms of service, but how we empower our clients with information. These innovative AI-driven tools are designed around three key principles, which include innovation, self-service, and improved communication. So we have two AI tools, and we're going to start with the web app AI Assistant, which is exclusively available to our Trafalgar clients and directly on the Unibrowse web app. The tool is designed specifically for trustees, directors, and owners who need quick, accurate, and scheme-specific information without delays. It's powered through advanced AI technology via Google Gemini. It is available 24/7 with multilingual support, as Andrew mentioned, so you can interact with it in your own language and using your own terminology. We'll showcase that just now. So if you have a question at 9 p.m. In the evening, you can ask away and you'll receive an answer immediately. So no need to wait until the morning to ask your community scheme manager. With the web app AI Assistant, clients can instantly view outstanding invoices in real time, get guidance on conduct rules, including common queries like, are pets allowed in a complex, or scheme permissions, for example. And trustees and directors can ask live questions about your debtors and age analysis. Trustees and directors can access financial records and levy arrear trends. Clients can also receive answers based on the scheme's own legislative documents, so conduct rules, MRI, the plans for the complex, etc. They can even access legal references and compliance guidelines, as well as FAQs, which is industry related. I think what makes this web app AI assistant truly powerful is that everyone or all the responses is tailored to a specific scheme. So there's no generic information. The system pulls directly from the web app data in terms of documents that was loaded, financial information, which is real time and live. So this means greater transparency because you have direct visibility of the scheme. And within all access rights perimeters, as well as in secure environments in terms of the protection of personal information. Our TESS system stands for Trafalgar Inquiry and Support System, and this AI tool is available for everyone on our website. While our web app AI assistant focuses more on scheme-specific data, TESS is designed to support you from a broader, more legislative and operational perspective, including all Trafalgar's extensive free training content. So with TESS, you can access guidance on legal and compliance-related queries. You can explore training resources to better understand scheme management overall, and you can get operational support when navigating difficult processes. Typically, if you have a question about an AGM or whatever the case may be. You can find answers to FAQs as well, to support your decision-making as a trustee and director. Again, this tool is available 24/7, which ensures support is always available. Okay, so all these tools all the interactions are recorded and analyzed on a monthly basis. We get monthly reporting, which helps us identify trends. It also assists us with continuous system enhancements, which also allows us to improve service delivery at the end of the day. Okay, so these tools do not replace human interaction, but they do enhance the service. So at any point in time, you can still choose to be referred to speak to a human, or as always, you can contact your community scheme manager who has a wealth of knowledge to assist you. But I think by giving this access to information improves transparency and streamlined communication. So we, in the end, enabling efficiency and confident decision making. All right, so let's take a tour. I am going to share my screen and show you how to navigate to the web app. If you can just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Good.
Right, so anyone can navigate to trafalgar.co.za, our website, and in the top right-hand corner, you can click on Web App. You will, the screen will open where you need to capture your email address and your password. If this is the first time that you access the web app, the Unibrowse web app, you can click on email OTP, or if you've maybe forgotten your password, you can also click on email OTP and you will receive an email OTP to re-sign into the web app. All right, so once you've managed to sign in, you will receive a dashboard. So the access in terms of trustees and owners is a little bit different. Our trustees have access to more financial orientated documents and reports, where owners can only access their own levy statements and statutory documents in terms of conduct rules, plans, minutes of AGMs, etc. So I'm first going to show you trustee access, and then I'm going to show you owner access. So on a trustee access, you'll see our AI assistant generates data from the documents that is available on the web app. So this will typically include financial statements, AGM minutes, management reports. It will also include all financial reports, which is your levy roll, the age analysis, balance sheet, disbursement statement, income statement, and the creditors move report. So it combines all of this information, and you can ask it to summarize for the last 6 months, or give you a high-level overview of governance or compliance. So it's quite powerful. All right, then you can navigate to the AI assistant. And you'll see that we've already asked it a couple of questions. And I think a very nice question to ask from a trustee perspective would be to please summarize a compliance dashboard for the body corporate. It will think. It will also give you information on where it's extracting from. So you'll have your financial compliance. It gives you very nice metrics, status, whether there's warning signs, compliance, health checks, etc. So I'm not going to go into too much detail in terms of the responses, but as you can see, it is it's quite high level and extensive. You can also ask it, for example, what was the highest expense in the previous month. It will extract from the income statement for March 2026, and it will generate the information that you require, which is quite interesting. You can also ask it the same question in another language, for example, German. We're currently asking it, please summarize a compliance dashboard for the body corporate. It's thinking, and it's giving you the information in your desired language. Okay, I'm going to do another test in Zulu, which is quite interesting. Once again, thinking, but then giving the information exactly where it's generating from our financial reports and everything available on the body corporate. Right, then from an owner's point of view, you can ask anything relating to the body corporate. As you see, we've already asked it a couple of questions. We've asked whose responsibility is it to replace a burst geyser, and it will give you all the information on the replacement of geysers, referring to your conduct rules as well as just these decisions. You can ask it to summarize your levy accounts in terms of payments for the last 6 months. It will extract all your levy statement data for the last 6 months and give you a very nice summary. Once again, you can ask these questions in any language. Right, then I'm going to move on to, are there any questions? I can't see the questions. If my colleagues can just guide me.
It's fine, Tadisha, you can go ahead. We'll stop and ask.
All right, no problem. So then to navigate to TESS, you can also visit our website. Once again, TESS is available for everyone, not just Trafalgar clients. You can navigate to property management and training courses. On the training course section, our TESS tab will appear at the bottom. Okay, so in terms of asking TESS any questions, you can ask it. And you can play around on these AI tools. It's actually quite fun and exciting and very informative. So the question I'm asking is how to go about to install solar in a sectional title scheme. It will think, it will analyze all the information that we have available, and it will give proper answers. Approval for improvements, for the corporate installation, trustee consent, conduct rules, etc. Asking it maybe another question to help our trustees out a bit. What process should be followed by the trustees to update conduct rules? I think that's a very general and a question that is asked quite a lot. And it will give you a very nice answer in terms of the process that needs to be followed to update the conduct rules at the end of the day. I'm going to do one more question. From an owner's perspective, who must coordinate maintenance and repairs on common property? Also a very important question. It will give you answers in terms of the Sectional Title Schemes Management Act or the Companies Act, and it will explain exactly whose responsibility it is for the maintenance on common property. So yeah, that is our tools that we currently. Yes, Karin.
Delisha, can I ask you a favor? Can you ask Tess, because she will not know the answer, can you ask her who is my portfolio manager? I just want to showcase that if Tess doesn't know the answer, then it is referred to a human. And there's also, if you can see, there's a button where you can click to refer to a human as well if you're not 100% satisfied with the answer. So there you see Trafalgar. You can contact Karin. There's my email address. And then I will immediately respond. So Tess, unfortunately, cannot know everything, but yeah, that's what we're trying to achieve. Thanks,
But if
Delisha.
we answer, thanks, Karin. But if we ask the same question on the web app,
it will give you the answer.
It will give you the answer. Yes. So let's ask the question on the web app. And it will say your portfolio manager is Sasha Naidu, and they'll give you the contact details.
Excellent.
So I think together these tools really represent a significant step forward in how we support our clients by giving our clients, immediate access to information, improved transparency, and streamlining communication. So yeah, we look forward to you making use of these reports. I'm not sure if there was any questions that was posted in the chat that we can test. Karin?
There's no chats that I can see.
Okay, so everyone can just test it on their side. And yeah, I see there's a couple of hands, Karin.
Just try a good one. I think it's quite powerful there, Talisha. Do you want to go to the AI assistant on the web app and just type, provide a cash flow forecast to the end of the financial year? So, a fairly sophisticated query like that is achievable. It will it'll know when the financial year end, it'll look at the history of the income statements, it will adjust for non-cash flow items, and you'll be able to extract a cash flow forecast, which, is a useful report. And I think what it's showing is that, any question that, trustees, directors, or owners want in your own words, you are able to pose that query, that inquiry, and, get a quick answer showing where the source of that information is, to help you make your decisions and really get done what you need to faster. So, you can see, that was fast. It gives you a sensible response that can be copied and, emailed, copied into a Word document, whatever you want. It actually remains in a log. So the next time you log in, you will see previous inquiries to go back to. If you want to clear the screen, you just click the reset button top right. And it works very much like ChatGPT, Claude, the other AI tools you'd be familiar with. It just happens to be sort of focused on your own community schemes, management information. Karine, I'll just pose a very important question from Martin to you, and I think it's relevant to what we're looking at. Martin wants to know about owners, their entitlement to view the financial statements and other financial records we're looking at, and why it is that trustees and directors have broader access rights than a owner.
Yeah, Andrew, so basically an owner, in terms of the Sectional Title Schemes Management Act, do have the right to ask for financial information, documents of the scheme, any information as per the prescribed management rules. But sometimes some of this information is confidential, and we also have to look in terms of POPI. So we can't just broadcast all the information blindly to everybody. So that is why we don't have it immediately available to our owners on our dashboard, but the owners can request. If it's a reasonable request, the trustees have to comply and give us permission to share that information, and then we definitely will, because the owners do have the right to the access to the information. But because of things like POPI, we just cognizant of the fact that some information is confidential, and we should treat carefully on that. But yeah, owners definitely have the right to information.
Yeah. So maybe just to give examples on that, Karine. So on the financial reports, one can see personal names, which are personal information, levy arrear information, and some other personal details. So those personal information elements are protected by the Protection of Personal Information Act. So we are restricted from making those absolutely freely available to anyone and everyone. But as Karine said, there is a control process for that information to be requested. We do need consent from the trustees or directors as the custodians of the community scheme's personal information, and then would pass that on a request basis with the trustees and directors' consent. On occasion, it must be said, the trustees and directors won't consent. And, this comes to one of the challenges that, the parties, being everyone, encounters from time to time, not often, but it does happen, where a dispute arises, where a particular party might feel they're entitled to certain information. The trustees or directors do not agree to that for whatever reason, and Trafalgar's caught in the middle. We are not authorized to take decisions, like Karine said, in terms of what the trustees and directors are authorized to decide. We do advise, we do provide guidance, and we do provide, the legal framework that is applied. But if a dispute exists, we do not adjudicate disputes. That does need to be referred, ideally, to CSOS, which is a dispute resolution forum, and due process must be followed there to come up with a either conciliated outcome or a adjudicated outcome as well. So, that would be the way that it needs to be undertaken. Maybe just one other comment, which is quite interesting. So as Talisha was saying, these tools continuously improve. So for example, on TESS, the system sends us every single month a full transcription of all questions and answers that are provided on the channel. Karine and I actually, we look through that quite carefully to make sure the answers are correct, that they make sense. And if we are seeing trends or themes of gaps or vague answers, etc., we can then improve the training of the model by providing better answers and filling the gaps, etc., so that the system continuously improves. So, through more use and wider use, it should improve because we are actioning, outcomes and findings from the transcription. And also what's nice on these AI tools, it actually measures customer engagement. So it's actually measuring sentiment from the discussion, looking at keywords, looking at responses, looking at the timing, of the conversation, and it's actually measuring a success score per conversation. So we are able to see, yes, it's a computer generated success score, but there is quality control measurement happening in the background to make sure that, it's hopefully improving and hopefully meeting or exceeding expectations. And we do look closely at those reports so that it is monitored and ideally that the trend is moving upwards. So that is happening in the background along these tools, and certainly we do expect them to grow and improve with wider use, given that they are now fully available. Karine, Peter, Sammy, Talisha, anything in closing? Not.
Hi, everybody. Yes, if I can just mention, if you need any assistance relating to, finding more out about a new managing agent, what do you need to do, please give us a call. We will assist you from that side as well. If you have to set up a petition, all of those things can be provided from Trafalgar side as well. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Well, we'll close early tonight. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. Contact details on screen. So please do make contact. We're happy to answer any questions that, that can't be answered by tests or the AI tools we showed you. But, we are very willing to assist and advise. And please do give these tools a try. And by all means, let us know if you can spot any gaps or improvement opportunities. We do want to see them develop and grow. And as we said, it's all about self-service, 24/7, in a language and terminology of your choice. We do think that will, make service more accessible, faster, and certainly improving productivity of the portfolio teams. So enjoy the long weekend coming up and the short week next week. And we look forward to our May webinar, which is going to be focused on the topic of maintenance and important maintenance compliance elements. So have a good evening. Thanks once again. And thank you to my colleagues for presenting.